Welcome everyone to Vested Interest. This is Shane back again for another stock pick of the day. It is February 7th. We are going to take a look at Paramount today. This is a Warren Buffett favorite here, or maybe not favorite, but one he has recently invested in as recently as last year, as a matter of fact. And it is currently much lower now than whenever he was buying it last year. So let's take a look at it and see if it is one we want to add to our watch list or potentially add to our portfolio. So if you are not aware of the company, right, they are a media company out of the communications sector, right? And they have a lot of different brands or channels that you may be aware of, right? BET, CBS, CBS Sports, Comedy Central, CMT, CBS News. Some of these are duplicates here. Nickelodeon, right? Obviously Paramount, Comedy Central. I think we saw that above. Yep. The CW, Pop TV, Showtime, right? So a lot of these you are probably familiar with and maybe even watch some of these. What we do, Paramount delivers premium content to audiences across platforms worldwide. We connect with billions of people through our studios, network, streaming services, live events, merchandise, and more. Our studios create content for all audiences across every genre and format, while our networks and brands forge deep connections with the world's most diverse audience in streaming, right? So they're a streaming company, produce movies as well. So again, you're probably well aware of some of their movies or some of the channels that they offer. And if you want to know more about them, check them out, www.paramount.com. We are talking about Paramount Global, ticker PARA, out of the communications sector, right? Closed the day out down 2.95%. Part of the reason we are looking at them at $23.35. I believe we looked at these guys back in December and they were around the $18, $19 range. So they have come up a bit since then, but down on the day for February 7th. And again, this is one Warren Buffett was buying, and I believe his cost basis was around $30 per share, almost $31 per share. So again, if you wanted to be in a Warren Buffett stock here below his cost basis, this would be one that you could look at. 52-week range as low as $15.29, as high as $39.21. So at $23.35, it is definitely headed back towards that 52-week low, but I'd say it's kind of floating in between the low and the high for the last year. Average volume is 12.4. Today was 9.1, so less volume today than what is typical. Market cap of 15.29 billion, a beta of 1.65. So beta is basically stands for the volatility in the market. The overall market is a 1. Anything less than that is lower volatility. Anything higher than that is higher volatility. This is almost twice as volatile as the overall market, so you can kind of see that volatility throughout the day here, right? Even though it was a continual downtrend, there was a steep drop here midday, maybe it looks like, between 12 and 2, and then a little bit of a rebound towards the end of the day. PE ratio, extremely low. Price to earnings is at 5.32, $5.32. EPS, earnings per share, is not applicable, so that's the issue. You'd want to look at that. Why is that? Is their earnings must be negative. Next earnings date, they are not giving one. Forward dividend is 96 cents paid out on the year. They are a quarterly payer. We'll see that here in a minute. So divide by 4 if you want to know their quarterly rate, or like I said, we'll see that here in a minute. And they have a pretty nice dividend yield at 3.99%. Obviously, you'd want to look at their financials, make sure that their free cash flow is growing and can cover this dividend, and they're not in jeopardy of cutting the dividend. Ex-dividend date, the last one was December 14th. We'll have to see if they paid out already. 1-year target estimate. Yahoo Finance is not even putting one out. So again, that's an issue. Maybe look at other sources. And this is all according to Yahoo Finance, where I pulled this information. I am not affiliated, just one of the sources I like to go to look up information. And as always, I always recommend more than one source. So another one that I like is stockanalysis.com. You don't have to use these sources. Google has a source, Seeking Alpha. There's quite a few different sources out there. These are just 2 that I like, but I always recommend picking a couple sources and making sure you look at more than 1, 2, 3, even 4 different sources to verify the information you are getting is accurate. So again, according to stockanalysis.com and the 35 stock analysts they've had to take a look at this, they call it a consensus hold, right? So if you own it, don't buy any more. If you're not into it already, wait for a better price, and probably because they're seeing a low estimate of $11.11, which would be a 52.42% decrease in the stock price, right? So maybe it's a better buy if this continues to pull back. Average estimate is $20.44, so that would be a 12.46% decrease from where it currently sits. Again, I think back in December it was around 18, 19 per share, and a high estimate of $33.60, which would be a 43.9% increase from where it currently sits. Now, this is where I would typically show you my position. I do not have a position in Paramount, and part of the reason you'll see right here, they do have a low payout ratio of 20.10. Dividend growth NA. Well, basically, going back, it was even a little bit before this, but this is all I clipped out. They have been stuck at 24 cents for almost the last 3 years, right? So I like to see growing dividend growth or growing dividends over time. This is not growing over time, which might speak to why they're having some financial issues or issues altogether. But it is one that Buffett jumped into, so maybe he's seeing something that I'm not personally. Like the low payout ratio, I would like to see them start increasing this payout. It is one that is on my watch list. I am looking for a better entry point. I would like it, closer to that 52-week low of $15 or even lower. We saw in the previous slide they have an estimate of $11 low. If it was down there, I would probably throw some money at it and maybe add it to the portfolio. But for now, it is on my watch list. It is not one I'm looking to add right now, but it is currently lower than Buffett's buy-in. So again, he might see something that I don't. He has a lot more history investing than I do. So one worth at least keeping an eye on. Because it is one that he's recently picked up at around $30 per share, and it is definitely below that cost basis. Well, that is Paramount Global. Let me know what you think of that. As always, appreciate you stopping by. If you haven't done so already, don't forget to show me some love. Hit that thumbs up. Ring the notification bell. Most importantly, subscribe to the channel down below. It really does help me out. Share with anyone you think might find value in the content. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the video. Let me know what you think of the channel. Are there other stocks in the communications sector in this genre of entertainment, news, movies, that sort of thing that you are more interested in? I'd love to hear your comments. I do personally read and respond to the comments. I'm always interested to read your opinions, suggestions for future topics, or constructive criticism. Go ahead and drop it all down below. And this is Shane signing off, wishing peace and prosperity to you and yours. And remember, financial security comes to those who take a vested interest. Hey, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing in this presentation should be considered financial advice. I'm only sharing my opinion and investing journey for educational and entertainment purposes. Investing involves risk. You can't lose money and should never invest any amount you're not comfortable losing. Always do your own research. Invest based on your situation, circumstances, and selected criteria, or seek the advice of counsel, a certified financial advisor. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you in the next one.